Hello viewers, today's lecture will be on Ardhanarishvara images in North and Central India. The main objective of this lecture is to show the images of Ardhanarishvara in North and Central India. Some of the important images in the temples on the surface of the rocks are identified with the help of their style and their technique. The images found in North and Central India possesses iconographic traits according to the texts. Sometimes we find the sculptor of ancient India tries to visualize the specific forms through their own imagination and perception. Here, some of the important images of North and Central India have been identified to study the concept of Ardhanarishvara philosophically and mythologically. The place of Shiva is supreme. He is the most ancient god who was worshipped in that distant past, which the scholars have named as pre-Vedic, the age of Indus Valley civilization. It is evident from the following views. There are several statues of gods and goddesses which resemble their later counterpart, especially one of a god, which could easily be taken for the later Shiva. Her counterpart, the great mother goddess, too has been worshipped in India from the remotest antiquity going beyond even the Rig Veda. The earliest evidence of worship of Rudra Shiva and the mother goddess was the distinctive feature of the religion followed by the Indus Valley people. It is evident that Ardhanarishvara came into existence in the Scytho-Kushana age on the basis of the Ardhanarishvara figure belonging to the Kushan period found at Mathura, now in Victoria and Albert Museum, London. The earliest found torso of Ardhanarishvara is from Mathura. It is of 2nd century AD and now in the collection of National Museum, New Delhi. The left half of the body is that female and right half is of male. Only a string in the neck is visible. A head of Ardhanarishvara has also been found from Mathura and belonged to 3rd century AD. It was found from Gosna village near Mathura. Male and female parts are beautifully carved on the same piece. The other is from Palikheda, Mathura. It is of the 4th century AD and made of red sandstone, now in Mathura Museum. One more figure of the 5th century AD, now in Mathura Museum, has Jatamukta, crescent moon on Shiva's head. The Ardhanarishvara remained quite popular in North India. Archaeological Museum, Rani Mahal, Jhansi, UP, has numerous images of this god. One image is shown standing in Khadag Asana between two pillars. The image has 4 hands holding a trident. Vardha Mudra, a Kamandala, and a mirror. On the left side, the garment covers the leg up to the knee. The head is adorned with Jatamuktas on the right and the Veni on the left side. Both the ears have kundalas. One more image of Ardhanarishvara in Archaeological Museum Rani Mahal Jhansi is shown between two pillars. The image stands in Tribhanga pose with two hands. The right hand is in Vakhyan Mudra and the left hand carries a Kamandala. The entire figure is decked with ornaments. In the same museum, one Ardhanarishvara is shown standing in the Bhanga pose in between the two pillars. The image has four hands with different attributes. The neck is adorned with ikavali. The vanmala hangs below the knees. The image of Ardhanarishvara from Ganda district, Kalinjar, UP, is engraved on a stone slab. Standing in Tribhanga pose, this Ardhanarishvara is four-handed. The upper left hand carries Ganesh seated inside the Padma. The head is adorned with the Jatamukta. The right ear has no ornaments, but the left ear has a bejeweled Ratna Kundla. The neck wears a Mukta Hara. So, Rasanjala around the girdle with lots of ornamental arches falling from the zone and covering the thigh. Hip is decked with heavy strings. The left leg is ornamented with an ankle which has lots of bells little above the anklet. 3 pearl karas are adding to the beauty. Ardhanarishvara image in Lucknow Museum is made up of sandstone. It belongs to the 11th century AD. It is four-handed and stands in Divanga. One image of Ardhanarishvara from Pratihara period, now in National Museum, New Delhi, belongs to the 11th century AD. The right half belongs to Shiva and the left half is of Devi. The image carries a trident, Akmala, a mirror, and the lower hand is broken. The main deity is surrounded by Ganas. Ardhanarishvara in the collection of Allahabad Museum is unique. It is on a fragment of a temple wall and belongs to the 12th century AD. It stands in Divanga and has four hands. Both the ears have pushp kundra and neck wears ikavli. The vanamala hangs down to the knees. The waist is decked with kachidama set in arch formation on hips and thighs on both the sides. The Rasanjala is quite prominent. The right side of the head has Jatamukta and the left side has a Veni. One sculpture of Ardhanarishvara from Nachna in Madhya Pradesh is made of sandstone. It is in the collection of Firoz Mistri collection Mumbai. Here, the hair on the male side represents the mated locks of the Esek god being thrown back loosely up to the shoulders. The hair on the female side is arranged in small and compact curls and tied on the top in a bun. A girdle, collar, and a necklace adorn the figure. Mathura and Sarnath were the two important centers of Gupta classical art. Its influence spread in Madhya Pradesh. All the sculptures from Madhya Pradesh have inheritance from the earlier Madhya Desha tradition at Sanchi. These images have smoothness, fluid and rhythmic contours. The earliest phase of art in this region though generally sharing the disciplined rhythm of the Gupta classical ideal, is characterized by sturdier forms. The sculptures of the 7th and early 8th century follows a gradual disintegration of identity contours. There are tendencies of post-Gupta trends, heavy and broad forms with a condensed plasticity appear to differentiate the art of Central India. Central India has been a great center of artistic activity from rather early times. The temple sculptures of Khajuraho or other places in Central India lack the bold name of Odishan art. The Paramaras retained the classical value of form. Here, the figures are slim and elegant with the broken contours. They appear to have followed an ideal that is nearer to the Gupta classical norm. The medieval art of the Hijaz areas begins with the greater awareness of the Gupta classical ideals. Ardhanarishvara in Bhopal Museum belongs to later Gupta period. This bust displays a smiling face. The right side of the head has Jatamukta in a wavy manner. The hair on the left is bejeweled. Standing Ardhanarishvara in a Rajiva Lochna temple, Badri Narayana's shrine on the doorway left gem is quite interesting. It is made of purple sandstone and belongs to the 8th century AD. The head is decorated with a crown. He carries a trident, a big snake, a mirror, and Katyavalambita pose. The left leg is covered with a long dhoti. State Museum, Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh, too possesses Ardhanarishvara image. This figure belongs to the 8th and 9th century. Shiva stands on a lotus plinth and has 4 hands. A well-developed breast is on the left side. The entire figure is heavily ornamented. The Kendriya Mahadev temple of Khajuraho too represents Ardhanarishvara. It is standing image with 4 hands. One Ardhanarishvara of the Pratihara period can be seen in National Museum, New Delhi. It is dedicated to the 10th century AD. Only the upper part is visible and the lower is broken. The side is adorned to the goddess with around bosom. Hair is parted and tied up in a knot. One image in the same collection goes to 11th century AD. This image from Central India has 4 hands and carries a trident and Akshimala, a mirror. National Museum, New Delhi possesses one more image in Tribhanga pose with 4 arms, carrying usual attributes. A very interesting dancing figure has been discovered from Madhya Pradesh. It belongs to the 12th century AD and is the creation of the Siddhi period. It has 16 hands. Ardhanarishvara in the Chaturbhuja temple, Khajuraho, Madhya Pradesh, is seated in Vira Asana with 4 hands. He holds a trident, Aksmala, a mirror, and Kamandala. A prominent breast and well-shaped navel are the important features. Ardhanarishvara image of 9th to 10th century AD is in the collection of Gwalior Archaeological Museum, Madhya Pradesh. He is seated in Vira Asana with 2 hands. The image wears necklace and Pushpakundalas. In a ruined temple in Madhya Pradesh, in Sakaraguna district, an Ardhanarishvara image has been found in the Garbhagriha. It is made of stone and belongs to the 9th century AD. It stands in Tribhanga, has 4 hands with usual attributes. Ardhanarishvara image in Birla Museum from Ashapuri, Raisan district, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, is made up of red sandstone and belongs to the 10th century AD. Standing in Khadag Asana, has 4 arms and carries a darpana, Vardhamudra, a kamandala and trident. Along with other heavy ornaments, waistband with strings are falling down on thighs. The left half is feminine and the right half is masculine. Ardhanarishvara from Jabalpur district, Rithi and village Padavali and Morena district is also quite interesting. Ardhanarishvara from Satna, now in Neeraj collection, is also noticeable. It belongs to the 11th century and made up of buff stone, having usual features. Vijayeshwara temple, Udaipur, MP, has 8-handed Ardhanarishvara carrying usual attributes. Indore Central Museum too possesses Ardhanarishvara from Nyalgarh, MP. It is made of greyish pale sandstone and belongs to the 10th century AD. Seated in Vira Asana and having 4 hands. It is decked with rare and precious designed jewelry. Both sides have attendants. Eastern India too has abundance images of Ardhanarishvara. As we know, 2 styles flourished here. Vanga style from 8th to 10th century. This is Palas. Kalinga style 8th to 10th century. Then Bhumakaras, the Eastern Ganges who ruled over Kalingas. In Eastern India, Bengal and Bihar under Palas and Senas rulers constitute one significant territory of artistic activity, and Orissa another. The images were made of fine grained black stone and in metal. One image of Ardhanarishvara from Mundeshwari, Bihar, and now in the collection of Patna Museum, as 2-armed and belongs to the 7th century AD. It is made of buff stone. Bhubaneswara State Museum, Odisha, too possesses the image of Ardhanarishvara. It is 4-armed, standing image with usual attributes. The deity is sculptured on Bhubaneswara temple, belongs to 7th century. It is again 4-armed, holding Katyavalambita pose, a mirror and a flower. The deity in Sivanatha temple, Orissa, belongs to the 8th century and carries Aghura Mukhamudra. The forehead is marked with a bindi. Beautiful decorated nose ring enhances the beauty of the nose. One more 4-handed image stands in Vital Deol temple, Bhubaneswar. He holds Akswala a flower Katyalambita pose. Western images of Western India are in the Mathura idiom. The soft and subtle modeling along with the flowing contours and transparent drapery. The images are calm and have beautiful expression, suggesting an inner absorption from sadhana. The western most bends of medieval Indian sculpture comprises Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Kathiawar. In Rajasthan, in the earlier period, the classical tradition seems to have had a stronger hold, as is evident from the sculpture of Ocean. One of the best examples of Ardhanarishvara is in the collection of Jhalawar Museum, Rajasthan. It is four-armed Ardhanarishvara, which is made of pink sandstone. It is standing in the Bhanga pose. The right half is male with a chatamukta on the head and crescent moon on the forehead. The right ear has ordinary kundlas and the neck is decked with ikavali and upavita. The right half has katibanda on the lan and the left half is adorned with beaded belt. The left half has a fine knot of well-combed hair. The ear has patra kundla. Well-developed breast is on the left side. On the left is Kartikeya and on the right is Nandi. Ardhanarishvara from Rajasthan, now in National Museum, Delhi, is four-armed. It belongs to the 12th century and is in seated position. The left half is that of goddess and the right half is that of Shiva. He carries a linga, a mirror, Vardha mudra, and a trident. Surya Temple, Ocean, Jodhpur, Rajasthan, too has Ardhanarishvara, which belongs to the 8th century. It has four hands and stands in Divanga pose. Satyanarayan Temple, too, is adorned with Ardhanarishvara. It is in Mahameru style. He is seated in Lalit Asana. He holds usual attributes. The impact of Gupta and Gandhara styles is visible in the images of North Indian like Punjab and Western Himalayas. Monolithic temple of Masroor, Kangra district, Himachal Pradesh, possesses Ardhanarishvara in the mandapa wall. It is made of sandstone and belongs to the 8th and 9th century AD. Two hands on the male side, in which the upper one holds a trident while the lower one is broken. The female side is shown with a single hand. SPS Museum too has one image of Ardhanarishvara, belongs to the 15th century. It is four-handed and stands in Khadaga Asana. The third eye is quite prominent. Among the syncretistic icons, Ardhanarishvara has undergone several changes through the centuries. The earliest images of Ardhanarishvara of the Kushan period can be seen in Mathura. So far as Central Indian images are concerned, they share the disciplined rhythm of the Gupta ideal, but the forms were sturdier. The heavier physiognomical form, tight and compact volume, has been derived from the early autochthonous heritage. The temple sculptures of Khajuraho lack nativity of Orisian sculptures. The figures during Parmar's role are slim and slender with unbroken contours. They followed the Gupta's classical norms. They seem to be unaware of its spiritual aspect. The medieval art of the High areas begins with a great awareness of the Gupta classical ideal. The people of the East created emotional impact and they were absorbed in the ideals of the Guptas. Here, the face, instead of being evolved, scarce and the sharp cut eyes with heavy eyelids have a sleepy look rather than the look of deep concentration. The images of Ardhanarishvara signify the syncretistic character of this form. It is the union of male and female energies as Shiva and Shakti. Their images are carved from the earliest times to the present day. A notable feature of these images is his Urdhva Rita's aspect, which is important characteristics of Shiva and Shakti. The Ardhanarishvara image in the Gupta age is more slender and delicate, having lotus-like eyes, elongated ears, and an oval face. All these images of the Gupta age represent a high point in indigenous Indian art. Plastically, Gupta sculpture is the logical outcome of the Kushan art of Mathura. Thanks.